win in 5 tries out of the All-Star break. Trying to put a bow on things against the Pirates with the triumph. Terry Francona's ball club looking to make more misery for the Pirates, who have lost 4 of their last 5. And you saw Chase Burns just go up the steps. The All-Star out to the mound. Burns trying to become the first Reds pitcher in 70 years to win 12 or more consecutive decisions.
And I think that's exactly it. It's win day. Chase Burns takes the mound. I feel like it puts everyone at ease because you know he's going to go out there. You figure he's going to go out there and he's going to dominate. You figure he's going to set a tone. And defensively, you want to make the plays behind that guy. Offensively, you know you don't have to go out there and score a whole bunch of runs. It puts everyone at ease, both on the defensive end as well as offensively.
The defense that backs him up brought to you by Tri-Health. J.J. Bleday in left, Dane Myers center, Noel V. Marte at right. The infield of Key Bryant Hayes, Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLean, Sal Stewart, and Tyler Stevenson. We've already seen in just a handful of games the impact that Matt McLean has made with his glove.
It really is amazing. It really is. And, you know, Matt is obviously offensively is not found it yet, but defensively all year he's made all of the plays. Just really solid defensively. Still waiting for him to figure out that offensive part.
And for the Pirates, they're trying to win consecutive games against the same opponent for the first time since they swept Milwaukee in 3 right before the break. They've only won 3 of their last 10, averaging about 3.3 runs per game in that time. Jake Mangum is red hot. Brandon Lau's got pop. Brian Reynolds has been a Reds killer, as Merlin Valdez co-led the majors at Ribbies with the Red Sal Stewart in July. Spencer Horwitz has time on the IL this year. Nick Gonzalez, Reds finally got him to post a game without a base hit. He lost his baseball best 15-game hit streak. The switch hitting Endy Rodriguez, Jacob Gonzalez, and Jostinson Garcia. Well, the field and the mound in far better shape than what they had to suffer while mostly Andrew Abbott was on the mound. That's when the hard rains came yesterday. Well, Mangum, one of the few Pirates to have some success against Chase Burns. A modest 2 for 3 against him. Had 2 more hits yesterday. He has hits in 9 straight games. And Burns elevates as we are underway at 141. Mangum 5 for 13 in the series. A crisp 306 on the year. Top of the zone strike.
One thing to look for today with Chase Burns is obviously the command of that fastball. This is the first time he's pitched this deep ever in his life. So I think we saw a little bit of last time he was out, maybe a little bit of fatigue. Saw him spike some of his pitches during the game. Missed with some of the fastball, the velocity still 96 miles an hour. Something you have to manage with a young arm.
He's had 112 2/3 innings this year. He's reaching thresholds that he's never endured before, and doing so at the highest level. And I don't think you can overstate that part. An inning in college or in the minors is not the same as an inning in the big leagues.
No doubt about it. The adrenaline is there. The effort is there. I mean, this is where you want it to be your entire life. You are now there, and you want to take advantage of every opportunity.
It looked like a borderline miss, and there you see the growth from outright college in 2024, rocketing up from A-ball to the big leagues last year and this year. And I also think the Reds have talked about how there is no firm number. Brandon Lau stands infield hit last night. He's got 5 knocks on the series. And I think that's true and smart because there is no number. Innings are not necessarily all the same. So I think it's a combination of watching that number, watching the pitch count, seeing how the stuff is playing.
Yeah, I was going to say, and watching him.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Elevated miss, 1-1. And at the same time, this is something Terry Francona brought up today. You do want him to hit certain numbers of innings because you want a building block for next year and the year after that.
That's right. Yeah, the first thing you think about is the health of the player. Obviously, we need Chase Burns. He's going to be here for the future. Obviously, he just signed the deal. So he's going to be here around. He's going to be around here. And so we obviously want him to be healthy. And you want incremental growth. That's experience. That's experiential experience. That's him going out there and understanding how to get through an inning, how to get through a game when he's tired.
Center field. Myers.
How do you remain an all-star when guys know what you do? And that's always a question. How do you continue to be dominant in the game? How are you consistently a good hitter? How do you consistently dominate on the mound when everyone in the ballpark knows the pitches that you throw? It's the execution. It's the sequence. It's the adaptability that you have to show. It's having the guts to not throw your fastball at 100 miles an hour all the time. Throw a BP fastball, and the guy's out in front hits it off the end of the bat.
Jake Mangum goes, pitch tail down and in on Brian Reynolds. Got him! Mangum, one of the fastest Pirates, cut down by Tyler Stevenson.
Great throw by Tyler Stevenson, using the long hop. And this ball is perfectly put right on top of the bag. And Ellie just has to just sit there and allow it to come to him. That's just excellent. And he definitely got him before he got to that bag.
7th time this year Mangum's been cut down. He's one of 3 Pirates with 20 or more steals. Reynolds, routine left center. Minimum face first for Chase Burns. De La Cruz dropped down the tag. He'll be swinging the stick. He leads it off for the Reds in the home first. St. Elizabeth Healthcare, what a 1-2. Ellie De La Cruz and Sal Stewart both having terrific years. J.J. Bleday, Tyler Stevenson, Nathaniel Lowe, Dane Myers, both have been very hot last few weeks. Noel V. Marte, Matt McLean, and Ke'Bryan Hayes. Bottom third has struggled. They face a familiar face in Mitch Keller.
This year, Mitch Keller has had a lot of success against the Reds in his 2 starts. 2-0 with a 2.77 ERA. Only 4 earned runs in 13 innings that he's pitched. You can see it's not high velocity stuff. It's 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He'll cut it, he'll sink it, throw a sweeper, curveball, changeup. He's a pitch to contact guy.
Now he has had his troubles in Cincinnati. Among men with at least 7 lifetime starts at Great American Ballpark. Ellie tops one to right side. First baseman Spencer Horwitz feeds Keller. Keller's ERA at nearly 8 is the highest, nearly 9 rather, is the highest in the history of the stadium by more than a run to anyone else with that many outings here. Now that said, he hasn't pitched here since 2024. He has allowed 8 home runs here, his highest total of any stadium outside of Pittsburgh. Sal Stewart, the Reds' home run and RBI leader, struck out twice, was 0 for 2 yesterday. He did reach base twice. He had a walk and he got hit by pitch, drilled on the elbow in the 4th inning. His 3rd bruise of the year. Oh, and 2. Away. Now this year Keller's been way better on the road than he's been at Pittsburgh. An almost 5.5 ERA at home. He's in the high 3s in road games. Limits contact far better outside of Pittsburgh. Stewart launch left field, no doubt. His 24th. What a shot by Stewart to the 2nd deck. They hit him yesterday. He hits Keller out the gate for a 1-0 Reds lead Sunday afternoon.
Well, this is a sweeper that did not have much movement on it. Center. And Sal Stewart, early August, as productive as he was in an incredible July. That ball is way up there. Destroyed.
Statcast says 420 feet. Now J.J. Bleday fouls off strike 1. The strength of that essentially redshirt freshman. He got a little taste last year in the big leagues. Still qualifies as a rookie. Borderline miss. He welcomes moments at the plate. Bleday rips one to right center. He's got his 2nd knock of the series.
Really good swing by J.J. Bleday. Anytime he hits that ball in center field or in left center field, you know he can pull the ball. But that just says he's feeling real comfortable and confident.
Tyler Stevenson cleaning up. Bottom of the zone strike. It's been a tight bottom edge to the zone on both sides early. Stevenson coming off a scalding July, hit .339. Did not play yesterday. Sent to center. Garcia twisted around. Can't get there. Over his head. An eyeball to center. Bleday given the windmill by Harris. He's going hard. Relay to the plate. Late. Bleday home from first. The ribby double from Tyler Stevenson. 2-0 Reds.
Well, you talked about how Keller struggled here in Cincinnati. Starting to show its head again. This ball hammered to center field, and Garcia thought he had a jump on it, but that ball continued to travel over his head. Couldn't make the play. JJ all the way from first base.
So now Stevenson in scoring position for Nathaniel Lowe, who's had a very strong couple of weeks himself. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Catcher's challenging to call a ball.
Jacob Metzer, home plate umpire.
Ball confirmed the pitch of the ball. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
And I get the challenge there because I feel like it happened with Burns and it's happened with Keller. Some good looking competitive pitches, bottom edge of the zone, have mostly been balls. That is ripped into right field, base hit. Harris gets the read. The wave is on for Stevenson. Valdez concedes. He throws to second. Nathaniel O connects. Stevenson scores. 3-0 Reds.
Well, the hitting, it's contagious. Another ball that's hammered. This ball is 101 off the bat of Nate Lowe. Scoring early with Chase Burns on the mound is a good combination.
Now Dane Myers. 4 straight Reds hits. Upstairs appeal, no go. Myers in 13 games since coming back from the IL, hitting .333. He leads the team at on base at .374. Among men with his number of plate appearances, he's just outside of the top 20 in on base in the league. He is right behind the Yankees' Aaron Judge. 3-0. Taking all the way. Keller understandably suddenly shy about strikes after a lot of bolts off the Reds bats. Soft chopper to third, hard charge in, clean glove. Gonzalez got him. Low up to second.
Pre-pitch movement is really important. Nick Gonzalez right away in attack mode makes a fairly difficult play an easy play. As an infielder, you got to expect every single ball hit to you. If you do that, you have a better chance to be proactive in your reaction as opposed to just say, oh, that ball's coming to me, almost like you're surprised. See a guy attacking the ball like that, it's not just because he just attacked the ball, it's because he prepared early so that he could attack that ball.
And remember, it was Nick Gonzalez who had the decision to throw to an unoccupied second, opened the door for the Reds on an error to get what proved to be the game's winning run a couple of nights ago.
And he admitted to the error after the game.
Noelvi Marte down 0-2. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. Check swing. Did he go? No. Pirates all started off the field. Horwitz, Lau, and Gonzalez each took a collective step toward their dugout.
Those are the types of takes that Noelvi Marte has to eliminate. It's a very simple process to eliminate those. I think he feels what he needs to do. He just hasn't done it enough. That's how you should take a ball that's away. It's all about positioning. It's all about perspective and position. This guy has all kind of talent. Just got to commit to a certain way, and when he does, you're going to see that talent. I mean, we've seen flashes of it.
Lost by the catcher Rodriguez. Yeah, there have been spans of time where Marte was arguably the Reds' best player for up to about a month, 6-week span. But very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent in the results and the approach. And I feel like that's where many players are early in their career. Because, you know, you get to this level, you do what comes natural. And sometimes what's natural is not the right thing. It's not going to lead to your success. We always talk about making adjustments. Well, this team has certainly made some adjustments. Sal Stewart with the big bomb, and the hits just keep coming. Tyler Stevenson with the double, the ribby, and then Nate Lowe getting it done.
Tomer, the highlight of a 3-run first. So the Reds have staked Chase Burns to a lead. He connects on strike one against Esmerlin Valdez. Valdez, plenty of power, 6'2", 234. Walked twice yesterday, did have a ribby, and lined out. Top of the zone strike. Fouled off Stevenson, who needs a moment. What's your feel for Valdez at this point?
No, I really like his swing. It looks like right now he's a little outside the ball, but the success he had in Pittsburgh, I thought it was a little bit different. I feel like he's not right on top of his game because I feel like there's a little bit of a cast. I didn't see that in Pittsburgh, and once again, another young guy that the league has had to make adjustments against. He's had some success. It looks to me that he's trying a little bit harder than he did when we faced him in Pittsburgh and he had that success. I see him loading up more. It's like he's almost swinging harder.
And he chases that slider. Jake Sweeney, Chevy pitch tracks.
And that load up will make you susceptible to these pitches down and away. I mean, this is Chase Burns, who's throwing high 90s and then a 90-mile-an-hour slider, and is an all-star. But your approach, that looks like it's totally a swing approach. I'm sorry, a pull approach.
So now Spencer Horwitz, activated off the IL, had a hamstring injury. First pitch strike. This marks his first game since June 24th. That came the day before the Reds faced Pittsburgh last at PNC Park. They began a set in Pittsburgh that next day. It's part of what opened the door for O'Hearn to get more time at first base, and O'Hearn suffered a leg injury in this series. Got him looking.
Oh, the dotted away fastball at 98 miles an hour. Good luck.
Nick Gonzalez. Yeah, it's interesting. You point out that was at 98. That slider there at 91. First inning, Burns was 95 and change with the heat, 88 plus with the breaking ball. And slapped to right. Marte's got it. Is he throttling, or is he just finding that gear with more pitches today? Or wherever you get your podcasts. Matt McLean leads off. Soft strike from Mitch Keller. Pretty big name on the latest episode there, Jim.
Joseph Daniel Votto, right after his national broadcasting debut. And some interesting things of how he thought it went. How he prepares, which was classic Votto, what you would expect. And what was it like sitting on the set with Bob Costas, all of a sudden thrown right into the fire.
McLean pumps it up. Horwitz over with Rodriguez. And Lark, I'm not sure if you've heard the episode yet. Jim gives some of his own advice to Joey during it.
I did. I did.
And Jim, you also talked about the advice that Joey's given to some of the Reds' big prospects that he's spent time with and how he goes about that.
Yeah, he is. He's dabbled at Daytona, which is A-ball. He lives down there now and has worked with several of the Reds minor leaguers. And again, another classic Votto of how he actually prepares for that. It's just not a flyby. So interesting stuff. We did some Mount Rushmore stuff as well. Who are his Mount Rushmore pitchers that he faced?
Swing and miss. McLean down on strikes. Brings up the former Pirate, Ke'Bryan Hayes. And Barry, I'm not sure if you're aware who Jim had on. I think it was the guest immediately before Joey. We had a phone chat with him here in the booth not that long ago. Hayes connects left center field. That's got strong carry and gone. Over top the Reds bullpen. Number 4 for Hayes and a 4-0 Reds lead.
Well, I saw Ke'Bryan Hayes' dad, Charlie Hayes, the other day, and I was talking to him, and he told me about the power that we just have yet to see here in Cincinnati that Ke'Bryan possesses. That's a little peek into it. I kind of like that. Great swing on that fastball.
That's his first career home run against his original club. It's a first rounder by the Pirates. Broke in with the Pirates. Had only been a Pirate before he was dealt to the Reds. Soft away to Ellie De La Cruz. And generally Keller contains right-handed hitters well. He had not allowed an extra base hit to a righty his last 4 starts. Already 3 right-handed Reds hitters have connected for an extra base hit. Stewart's homered, Hayes is homered, and Stevenson drilled that double to straightaway center field.
Well, normally being able to pitch and control command on the periphery, he's really lived over the middle of the plate today. The home run to Sal Stewart was right there. That home run to Ke'Bryan Hayes was a heater, middle for the most part. Not being able to find the strike zone and execute his pitches. His troubles here in Cincinnati continue.
That brings up Sal Stewart after the 4-pitch walk to Ellie. Stewart was down 0-2 early his first time. Here he swings first pitch, sends it to center. Garcia seemed like there was a moment's confusion with shortstop Jacob Gonzalez going out. J.J. Bleday singled to right his first time, later scored from first on the Stevenson double. It was Billy Hatcher, though, Lark, that was on, talking 1990 World Series, of course, talking about his coaching career. Almost got Bleday.
Billy Hatcher is a tremendous baseball man, and it surprises me that he's not involved in the game at the big league level. Talk about knowledgeable and his ability to communicate and really vibe with these young players. Another resource here in Cincinnati that I think would love to be able to help in some capacity.
And Jim, I thought it was insightful how Billy shared his connection with those that he coached still to this day, and the ties that he had between the Pirates before becoming a Red.
Yeah, that was interesting. The trade story of how he made his way to Cincinnati and how that came about, him hearing, is a great story that you should tune into. But yeah, the players that he coached still are in contact with him today, whether it be calls or texts. And like Lark said, he had a unique ability to connect with players, and he even said it. He's not afraid to be a top step guy and get on them, but at the same time be at the top step when they do something well. He was even keeled like that, and a guy that had been there and done that. So they anything Billy said, they listened.
Yeah, they have no choice to listen. He does command. He commands respect, but it's not like it's like you give him the respect because of what he's done. But he's incredibly insightful. I talk a lot about Eric Davis and his wisdom. Billy Hatcher is the same. He has that wisdom. He has that experience. He's coached at the big league level. He's been a coach at that level. He's obviously played in a couple of different organizations, had success, World Series success. He's a World Series champion. Just another great baseball man, and truly the essence of a baseball man. He's just that grinder. He understands. And his connectivity to these players is very important. Because I tell you, when you tell a player something, he's going to ask you why. And then when he does his research on who you are and he goes, oh, because you experienced it, now it brings along a certain level of credibility. That's very important with today's players.
Stevenson fights off a foul, Ribby double, and a run scored so far. Perhaps, though, my favorite sequence is a turn of phrase that Jim still uses often to this day. And we know it's in reference to Billy Hatcher, but if you just hear him around town at some point, you might hear this phrase and wonder, what is he talking about?
Had to get your mind right.
There it is.
Get your mind right.
And they dive into that on the pod. I did not know, Jim, about the time that you guys spent in the dugout often before games.
Oh, I learned so much baseball from Billy Hatcher. He would be a guy that would always come out early. And as he said, to get his mind right, get ready to coach the game. And I would come out early, whether I'm doing pregame show or whatever, and I would get 5 or 10 minutes. It would just be he and I would just pick his brain. And he enjoyed that because he loves soccer and baseball. And over the years, I learned so much off of him. And I told him, man, I might have learned more baseball from you than anyone at this level.
That's where we've learned on the pod between Dusty Baker and Billy Hatcher, where a lot of the baseball opinions, ideas, feedback that Jim has were born. Runners will go here. Payoff. Fouled back. What an AB by Stevenson, who now awaits the 9th pitch of the plate appearance.
Yeah, Steve-O is in a really good spot offensively. Obviously, we've seen him have the success in the base hits and the power recently, hitting 255 on the season now. But his at-bats have just been really solid.
Runners go, 3-2. And the looming elephant in the room, Stevenson is in the final year of a contract. His name has been listed in the trade rumors. He's acutely aware of it.
Yeah, it's a very uncomfortable time for Tyler Stevenson. There's been a lot of rumors. You hear a lot of them. And as he said, he just wants it to be over. Whatever's going to happen, let it happen, so I can just either be here and just continue or be wherever and start. Let's just get it done. It is a very uncomfortable time. I've gone through it a few times. It's uncomfortable.
Runners go. Struck him out.
Well, the hits have come often, and the power is prolific. Ke'Bryan outs most in Major League Baseball. That is a depthy, late-breaking slider.
the best weapons in the game. Borderline miss. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Catcher's challenging the call of ball.
I remember in spring training this year, Chase was on the mound and he threw a pitch, and it was a slider.
Cincinnati has 2 charges remaining.
It had so much depth in it. I asked him after the game, I said, hey, are you throwing a curveball now? He smiled. He said, no, that was just a depthy slider.
Grounded to first. Kicks some on Stewart. Stays with it. Feeds Burns. 1 down.
Little deep with that glove. So you got to get that hand out there. He catches the ball in between his legs. You can't see that ball, so out in front where you can see it enter your glove.
That's the Reds all-star duo. Dynamic young players. And if there's one biggest connective fiber between the two that screams to me, there is so much fire that exists within both Burns and Stewart. Jacob Gonzalez to center. Myers has it red. You can feel their will within the game when they play.
No doubt about it. Highly, highly competitive. We saw it in spring training with the free throw competition with Sal. Of course, there was a little talk going on here and there. And every time Chase Burns takes the mound, you can see that fire.
Jostinson Garcia fouls back strike 1. By the way, little nugget on Billy Hatcher. Got a text from a friend while we were at break. I did not realize he calls baseball on TV for Cincinnati and does work with the Big East when they have their baseball tournament up in nearby Mason.
Yes, he does. Works with UC. He does.
Oh, 2. Bounce foul. That was a late signal on a close bouncing ball. Stay hot. His better half also works at the University of Cincinnati, and as he mentioned on the podcast with Jim, talked about how he still makes his home in greater Cincinnati, and as a wise man he said, well, my wife chose that we're going to make our home in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Karen, Billy will admit it. She runs the roost, that's for sure.
Burns strikes him out. The calm walk down the mound. Our UC Health pitch tracks. Lowe really found it again right before the All-Star break. Going back 13 games played to that Cubs series right before the break. He's north of 320. 11 knocked in, 3 of his bombs in that time. He, of course, was a huge part of the Reds' outstanding April. Thundering one of the biggest hits of the year when he homered off Kenley Jansen, 2 outs, 9th inning to walk off the Tigers. We have seen the grounds crew connecting with our umpires a few times, seemingly showing radar on a phone. It appears to be rain right beyond the Ohio. Keller walked a couple of Reds on 4 pitches last inning. De La Cruz and Bleday. 3-1 to Lowe. That hung and it stung into right center. It's going to get down to the gap. Gathered on the track. Lowe scoots into second, a standing double.
There is such a fluidity right now with Nate Lowe. The timing is just on point. He's getting loaded, staying square, and consistently making solid contact. That ball was 105 off the bat. And it's not an overswing. It's just balanced. Great timing.
And the rain is here. Fans scatter. Dane Myers is grounded out. It's been a wet couple of days here in Cincinnati. Now Andy Rodriguez walks out to chat with Keller.
I saw the radar they're looking at. There's a bunch of just spots all over the radar. Just little pockets of rain all around. I'll have the 5-day outlook coming up.
Here's a look at your ballpark forecast. Well, many came prepared today. Could also feel, though, the tentativeness of Keller. Reds were at 4 straight hits against him in the first. 3-0 to the next hitter. Went 3-ball count the hitter after that. Fouled back by Myers. Hayes took him deep. Hardest hit ball of the game. Walked Ellie on 4. Stewart was retired on 1 pitch that he flied out. Walked Bleday on 4. 3-ball count on Stevenson. 3-ball count on Lowe. It was shared in the open that when Terry Francona was asked before the game, what's been the difference when Keller's been good and not against the Reds? He likes to use the word finish on his pitches. Some of the pitches in the zone that have been hit have been walloped. They do not have that finish.
Yes.
And he seems now understandably shy, particularly with the breaking stuff, about throwing anything that's in the zone. Most of them have been way down.
And as a pitcher, as a competitor, you're not always going to have your best stuff. And so the question is, where do you go when you don't have your best stuff? What do you do when you don't have your best stuff-wise? Well, that's when execution of pitches, location is so important. I mean, yes, you're normally throwing 93 with finish. Today you're throwing 92 with not so much finish. You're flat. So you make the adjustment. You have to make sure you stay inside the power. When you miss, the one thing that has to stay consistent is when the catcher sets up to the plate, on the plate, and he sets up to one side of the plate and you miss, you have to commit to missing to that side. Tom Brownie told me I might be hitting guys today because I'm not going to be over the middle of the plate. When I set up inside, Lark, if I'm going to set up and I'm going to miss to the inside part of the plate. For you as a shortstop, when the catcher sets up away, you are going to get a ground ball because I am not going to miss over the middle of the plate. He is going to hit the ball the other way. And I sat out there and I watched him, and that's why Tom Browning was the great pitcher that he was. Some say great, some say good. Okay, whatever it is. He didn't have that kind of stuff, but he did have that kind of determination when he didn't have as good a stuff as he normally had, whatever that level was. He was really bullish on how he was going to compete. And I feel like that is the most important thing. We've seen it from Andrew Abbott. We've seen it from Chase Burns. We've seen it from Hunter Green at times. You see it from pitchers. You're not always going to have your great stuff, but you have your great competition. And that, most of the times, will allow you to go out there and compete.
And Keller this inning has gone 3-ball count to all 3 men he's faced. Hung one to Lowe, he drilled a double. Walked Myers on a borderline breaking ball. Now a 3-1 awaits Marte. The rain picking up some, going sideways. Spins a strike. I thought it was curious. Andrew Abbott said last night during the downpour, according to Charlie Goldsmith, he shortened his stride, threw more sidearm. Abbott quoted from Charlie saying, I always go to my spin more in the rain because I have more fingers on the ball, more control on the ball. What's Keller done? He's gone heavy breaking ball here.
Yeah.
Three-2. Can't finish the breaking ball, bases loaded.
Well, I talked about it yesterday. before the game with Andrew Abbott. You have to be more purposeful. You have to have an approach. It's different.
Don Kelly has had Noah Murdock warming. He was up as the Marte at bat began. He's probably, looks like he is now ready. And here comes the skipper. With Matt McLean due up, Keller clearly doesn't have it. Seems like it's rained a lot when the Reds and Pirates match up, and he makes the move. That's all for Keller. He gets yanked with the bases full and nobody out. He goes 2+. Reds up 4-0, trying to blow it wide open. Noah Murdock is in. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen.
Saw Noah Murdock in Thursday's ball game here. He did go 2 scoreless innings. Tall, lanky right-hander.
Murdock struck out McLean in that outing. McLean has struck out so far today. 2-0. The misses are piling up on the Pirates. Does have one Granny lifetime. That gets away, but not far enough. Lowe holds at third, 3-0. Keller walked 4 to tie a season high. The Reds have issued their share of bases loaded walks this year, most of which have come against the Pirates. Turnabout would be more than fair play. Nowhere to put McLean. 3-0. Strike one. Center field. Low back to tag. Garcia in a driving rain coming forward. Has it. Tag at third. He shows throw but does not uncork it. Holds on as Lowe tags to score. Sac fly RBI. 5-0.
Nice job by Matt McLean putting the ball in play. Just a little bit underneath that sinking fastball.
Now Ke'Bryan Hayes, who connected on an impressive homer. Ball in the dirt. Can't find it. Both men move up. Wild pitch. Myers to third. Marte to second.
Ball in the dirt, regardless of what the situation is. Good read by Dane Myers. Secondary lead is really important. Get to a point where that foot comes down, you're thinking about advancing as opposed to going back to second base.
Infield in, another miss. 2-0. Hayes connected on his first ever home run against the Pirates. There's a chance to drive in at least 2 more with a base in. Downstairs strike. New baseball for Murdock. The home run for Hayes, Charlie Goldsmith points out, his longest home run in 3 years. Send it just to the left of and on top of the Reds bullpen. Fouled back. Hayes broke into the bigs in 2020. He does not have a multi-home run game yet on his career. Someone searching for a souvenir in the booth. In the dirt. Blocked well by Rodriguez. See Murdoch dragging his palm along his pants. This is what Andrew Abbott dealt with in parts of 3 innings. The hard rain, harder than this, honestly, came, it seemed, each time Abbott was on the mound yesterday. Look at our UC Health pitch tracks.
Well, just a fastball at the bottom of the zone. Catches plenty. Runners in scoring position. Terry Francona talked about it. It's time to get greedy.
Ellie rips first pitch. That'll play to pair. Myers scores. Marte comes home. 2-ribby knock for Ellie De La Cruz. It is 7-0 Red Legs.
Really nice job by Ellie De La Cruz. Talked about getting greedy. Saw those runners at second and third base. I'll take those ribbies right there. Really nice swing.
Now Sal Stewart, who is homered. He's also flying to center. Yanked down and away. Darkening of the dirt in the infield and a sheen right around second and short. Hung a bit, bounced to short. Gonzalez on the run. It's back to a manicured mound. A lot of work being done to the field. StatCast 3D, Google Cloud, the out so far for Burns.
Yeah, Chase Burns has once again pitched like an all-star, and it's been his fastball and his slider. He has faced the minimum, walked the first hitter of the game, but other than that, it has been all dominance by Chase Burns.
Coming off an 8-pitch third inning as we check in with Jim Day for the latest on the mending Reds.
Let's start with Brandon Williamson, Double-A last night. We've got some video. Went 2 innings, his first rehab stint from the shoulder problem. Did not give up a hit. Did give up an earned run because he walked a couple of batters, but struck out 3 through 39 pitches, 22 of which are strikes. He will now transition to Triple-A on Thursday as they try to up that inning count.
And his longtime good friend Nick Lodolo might be there with him.
Yeah, reunited, and it feels so good. Lodolo, 60 to 65 pitches is the target. St. Paul on Wednesday at the Triple-A level, and if he gets to that, fine. There's multiple ways they could go after that outing, which includes returning to the big club, perhaps in Chicago. We'll see, but that's the next step. St. Paul Triple-A level, that's where Louisville will be on Wednesday. That's a day game.
And so that also means Brandon Williamson can be back home during the next stage of his rehab. Home surface here in Cincinnati getting some heavy work. It's a hard rain that's been coming down after a difficult rain night yesterday. Word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky at MVG. With over 2,200 of the best gaming machines, we got you covered.
Now, Jim, another banged up Red Spencer Steer, who came over from Minnesota via trade. What's the latest as he's trying to work his way back?
Well, he went for that second opinion in Arizona, and they concurred with opinion number one here in Cincinnati that the injury can heal on its own. He's going to be in a brace for 2 weeks and then will ramp up. There's no timetable as to when he could return, but he believes that it can heal as well on its own. So if you've seen him walk around the dugout, which I don't think he's here right now, he's in that brace as we speak.
That's the wrist injury, the sheath. Now Lodolo with that new grip, trying to get his way back. Now Burns on the mound. He walked Jake Mangum at the start of the game. He hits him here and immediately looks down at the mound after releasing that pitch.
The elements, they affect you.
So Mangum is the only Pirate to reach. He was later caught stealing. Burns had retired 8 in a row since he walked him at the start of the game. Now Lau, who is lined to center. You were a capable base stealer in your day. How did a wet track like this impact you running?
Yeah, you have to be much more purposeful. You get a good jump, you get a good jump. Got to make sure you don't slip. You get a good jump, and most importantly, you have to slide much later because you have a tendency to stick when you hit the dirt. And they put that turfus out there, and it has a tendency to cake up. Don't stop playing the game, though.
It's in the dirt. Stevenson keeps it there. This is a pretty steady and strong rain. You could already see also some pooling at the edge of the warning track in the grass, particularly in right center. It's a deep muddying and foul ground down the first and third base line near the bags as well. Missed down, so Burns hits Mangum with the first pitch and then goes 3-0 on Lau. In similar conditions last night, Andrew Abbott walked 5, second most he's ever issued in his career. Four of those came in one inning. 3 of them came in a row, including one with the bases loaded. That's not typical of Abbott, whose walk number is up a bit, but not like that, not in that context.
In very typical Andrew Abbott form, never out of his mouth would you hear the conditions, the mound, which obviously was caked up and his foot was obviously slipping as he was landing. Never use it as excuses, which is one of the things that I love about him, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing with Chase Burns. The elements, they do affect you as a player. They do affect your performance. You do have to make an adjustment. Andrew Abbott talked about going to his breaking ball because he got more fingers on the ball.
Grounded to second. McLean, bit of a hot potato, take the out. Mangum has great speed. Retires Lau, man at second.
And as an infielder, you just got to make sure that you stay in front of this ball, because this ball was hammered. You square it up. See, the ball takes a little higher hop probably than it was expected. When the grass gets wet the ball has a tendency to skip. Then I mentioned the turfage that they put out there. The ball has a tendency to grab.
Foul ball.
So you got to skip off the grass into the dirt, and then it bounces up. This was close down that left field line.
Yeah, there is some darker muddying and pooling of water right at the cleats of McLean now at second base. He's communicating with Sal Stewart between pitches here. That's what he's dealing with. And consider that, you know, for all the issues Abbott endured last night, 5 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah, he's a warrior. He figures it out. I feel like the more and more I talk about him, the more and more I reference Tom Browning. I just see so many similarities.
Pretty good company. Check swing seemed to go. No appeal needed. Strike. Who are your comps for Burns? Is there one?
Yeah, I got to think about that one. None come to mind. Nor Hunter Green, for that matter. Those guys are just elite.
Rate is picked up. That is hit hard to right center. Mangum around third. He scores. RBI hit for Reynolds. Shutout spoiled. 7-1. That's the first base hit allowed by Burns. As Merlin Valdez is struck out, takes strike 1. Well, the ball boy, by the way, when that ball got sent around and sent down to him, decided to lob it up to the fans that are up near the concourse. Make sure that they can get at least one.
Yeah, but those down in front are saying, hey, man, we're down here in the rain with you. They're underneath. They're protected.
Oh, I'm sure he's wearing it right now.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Which makes it all the braver, honestly.
I mean, it's coming down out there.
In the dirt. If a Pirate gets hit, if command is off that much, would they ask for the tarp?
Yeah, at least the mound and the plate. You cannot afford to have these guys' health be an issue because of the conditions.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Batter challenging the call of strike.
Did that get the very top of the zone? Yes.
Cause confirmed, pitch is a strike. Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
That's where using that challenge is dangerous, because the pre-ABS zone could change in weather like this to accommodate conditions. And grounds crew coming up the steps.
I think Chase Burns asked for either a different rosin bag or.
Yeah, they're getting him a new rosin bag right now.
And they're also going to do some other mound work while they have the time. But now that the Pirates are out of challenges, if you continue to play in this rain, they're powerless. If there are fringy pitches that may not be true strikes called strikes, they cannot do anything about it. Not that it would intentionally be one-sided, but do you watch baseball? Zone in bad weather over the years? It's not always the same, at least certainly a generation ago.
You're right about that. And it's getaway day.
If you look in the Reds dugout, there are several that are underneath. There have been two mainstays that have cared none about the rain, and that is Jose Trevino and TJ Friedel. They have not gone under one time. In fact, Trevino is as soaked as I've seen a player.
I would say the grinders.
Yeah.
And those are the grinders.
You know, they wear it in the rain. They're still doing some work on the field.
I mean,
They've been dancing down there to the music. I mean, Trevino's hat is as wet as you could possibly get. It was like Abbott last night.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Jake Sweeney Kia. Drive smart, spend less. And by Bet365, where winning is everything. That's a lot of that turfus and drying agent material being used. A lot of credit to this grounds crew, because this is a heavy, relentless rain. Even more turfus being jogged out there. At some point, Mother Nature,
undefeated.
yeah.
She is going to win.
Burns has actually made his way back to the dugout with his battery mate Stevenson, and he said, listen, I just want to wait for them to take care of the mound. There's no reason for me to stand out here. Just standing there.
Well, Jim Day's just standing there under the dugout. We'll step aside, back in a bit.
From a broadcast? Yeah. You mean a game? No.
Christopher Negron, former Red, is the bench man who's making the calls. He's been out there engaging with the umpires during this delay. So 2-2 on Esmeralyn Valdez. A run in this inning for the Pirates. Brian Reynolds at first base. 1 out. Down and away. That's the first pitch in 26 minutes.
And the thing to key in on is the landing of Chase Burns. See if that left foot has any kind of slippage to it or not.
Issues his second walk of the game. That pushes Reynolds up to second. I'm also curious to see if a runner tries to cut the corner at a base going full speed, how his footing would hold up. Spencer Horwitz has struck out looking.
Now, John, the one thing that gets overlooked is all the work on the field was done on the infield. Look out there in the outfield. Look right at where the grass meets the warning track. And I'm sure there's some standing water at some point out there. Maybe a low spot here or there. But I mean, it's out there. If you have to go back and make a play, the footing, I'm sure, is not very stable underneath that water.
1-1. Ron Marinaccio is up in the Pirate pen. Their starter Mitch Keller with 2 innings plus 3 men, charged with 7 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, a couple of strikeouts, a couple of home runs. Swung through. Burns gets the K. Champion window pitch tracks.
Well, Chase Burns, after the 25 minutes or so, still coming back and pounding strikes, and gets the chase, or gets the swing and miss on a 98-mile-an-hour heat.
Nick Gonzalez fouls back strike 1. He is lined to right. Seven runs allowed by Keller today. Tie a season high. It's one off his career high. Grounded back to Burns. Calm catch. Flip goes to second. That's the end of inning.
Sometimes we forget.
Got the out.
Attaboy.
7-1. Alta Fiber pitching change for the Pirates. Ron Marinaccio.
.93 or 94 mile an hour heater. His numbers on the season. There's a lot of fastball and changeups.
Originally broke into the bigs with the Yankees. Time with the Padres, including earlier this year. It's only his 4th outing as a Pirate so far. The Reds saw him when he pitched for the Padres here in Cincinnati on June the 10th. Reds tagged him with a run in an inning and a third. Eugenio Suarez homered against him. Suarez not in the 9 for the Reds today, at least not yet. J.J. Bleday has been on twice, base hit, a walk. He has scored a run. Strike one. Backdoors a strike. Looks like the rain is picking up again a little bit. When Marinaccio was first coming up in the Yankees farm system, he got married in New Jersey, and a video of the reception hit social media. There was crowd surfing, strobe lights, fist pumps, and he decided to add on the Instagram reel a little disclaimer: no Yankees pitchers were added to the IL during the filming of this wedding reception. Down and in. See that 97, quite distinct. He's one of only 2 men to ever wear 97 in the majors. Bleday takes. The other was Joe Beimel, who did it for multiple teams. That includes the Pirates in 2011. Payoff pitch. Bleday's on for a 3rd time today. A man on for Tyler Stevenson. Ribby double, run scored. He worked a 10-pitch plate appearance, ultimately struck out in the 2nd inning. Called a low strike. Now, Jim Day, you've had a chance to chat with Tyler about how he's cracked through offensively.
Well, earlier in the season, he was really closed, and then he started struggling and then became more closed at the plate, which is turned out to be not the answer at all. Now he's much more square. If you look at his feet and how he's approaching each pitch, he is much more square, and that has worked.
And his hands are much more active. You see him kind of like taking that bat over his shoulder, back and forth over his shoulder. I feel like I've seen that over the last few weeks become a little more pronounced. There's more of a stoic kind of standing there. Now there looks to be a little more fluidity. So opening up, being less closed, and being a little more active with those hands. Yeah, I remember it kind of being towards the pitcher. Now it's kind of over the shoulder.
Screaming comebacker off of Marinaccio, tries to stay with it, and he gets Tyler Stevenson. That's a nice recovery. Bleday up to second.
Well, he's stroking the ball well, and this ball was blistered as well. 101 off the bat. Did that ball get Marinaccio, or did it get his glove?
Athletic trainer is out to check on the Pirate pitcher.
Probably both.
He says he's all right. Now Nathaniel Lowe. Been a lot of hard hit balls by the Reds. That's 2 for Stevenson, over 100 off the bat. There have already been 2 for Lowe, his 2 base hits. Rain is visibly lightened again, but it's still there. That stroke to left center. That's down to the gap, all the way to the wall. Bleday around third. He jogs home. It's a 3-hit, 2-double day for Nathaniel Lowe. He has knocked in a couple. Another drilled contact. 8-1.
104, 105 off the bat. Nate Lowe. There's times where you hit the ball and there's times where you stroke the ball. He's stroking the ball incredibly well right now. Such a groove. And once again, the contact up the middle and the other way, stand behind the ball. The occasional pull when you get out in front.
He's now up to 267 on the year. Elevated strike to Dane Myers. Reds do have 2 ABS challenges to lose. Look to be out of the zone. Myers has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Front door miss. Swung through 2-2. Been a lot of 3-ball counts worked by Reds hitters today. Bounce to third by the backhand of Nick Gonzalez. Lowe given the go around third. He jogs in. Just fair standing double by Dane Myers. The Reds piling on against the Pirates. It's 9-1.
Well, this ball was hit hard off the bat of Dane Myers, but watch this play by Nick Gonzalez. Just didn't get there in time. And yes, the hitting is contagious.
Noelvi Marte has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. And you could also see, and wisely so, both Lowe on that read to run home and Myers going to second went very carefully.
Plotting around the bases. Yeah.
There was no need to turn it on there, so why take the risk? Chase on a breaking ball down. Struck him out on 3. Matt McLean sac fly his last time. He's also struck out. Oh, and 2. Lifted left side. Gonzalez in foul ground. Nick's got it foul side.
Their way so far with the Pirates, and it is Chase Burns once again. He's back on the bump for his 5th inning of work, albeit on a soggy mound, but so far so good.
Well, thank you, Jim. Up and into Andy Rodriguez. Switch hitter has grounded out to first base. Well, this gaudy lead, and now beginning the 5th inning at just 60 pitches. Burns is in prime position to try to get a win. Since 1900, only 2 Reds pitchers have won at least 12 straight decisions. None has done it since Brooks Lawrence 70 years ago won 13 straight in 1956. Rolled to first, Sal Stewart. Jacob Gonzalez has flied to center. Strike 1. And the late Brooks Lawrence, who's a member of the Reds Hall of Fame. Born and died in Springfield, Ohio. He was lost to this world at age 75 in 2000. Began his career with the Cardinals, but was with the Reds 1956 to 1960. Check swing seemed to go. Appeal confirms. Lawrence was traded to the Reds by the Cardinals that season. Wound up going 19-10. Was an all-star that year. Lifted over second and falls at right center, base hit. Word now from the good folks at UDF.
Every summer, we make peach ice cream with big chunks of peaches at our dairy. And every summer, it's gone, just like that. So grab some peach before the summer's over.
Jostinson Garcia struck out first time. Big rip at the slider. Struck him out.
Slider to Garcia, as it wasn't one of the better ones that Chase Burns has thrown, but effective nonetheless.
That was his 200th career strikeout. Congrats to Chase.
Didn't take him long, did it?
No.
This will be an interesting decision coming up. It's only at 73 pitches. But you do have a big lead, and you are trying to limit his innings.
And you have an off day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wanted to go to ABS, but they're out of challenges. And you make a great point, Jim. Curious to see what Terry Francona and the Reds will do. 0-2. Struck him out. That looked pretty filthy.
Well, it's not because he's getting tired and he's losing his stuff. Still dominant.
For your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Rain's picked up again. Brian Hayes, first pitch, gets away, puts him on. Ellie De La Cruz ambushed the first pitch last time, drove home 2 with a single. He's also walked and grounded out. Soft strike. We've seen a lot of those from Marinaccio. A lot of breaking balls down and away, right near or on the edge of the zone. That gets by. Hayes up to second. Wild pitch. One, two. It wasn't that long ago that Reds closer Alexis Diaz had a second job. seemed to give him solace to get the bullpen dirt ready. And Sam Moll right now is a rake out there, and he's being a great teammate. He's making that bullpen as ready as it can be. It was one of my favorite sights that would be on our monitor. We could peek in to see who's warming. That when it was prime Alexis Diaz, and he was a strong closer at the time for the Reds. He would be zen in his element, breaking in the bullpen. Popped up right side. Rodriguez. No play. Chip shot, floats to short. Jacob Gonzalez. Sal Stewart went deep first time up.
First inning, got a breaking ball from Keller that just stayed right there, and Sal absolutely unloads on this ball. Well into the upper deck.
On this rainy day, there's been a lot of loud Reds thunder. Sal's had a couple of multi-homer games this year. Did so against the Giants in mid-April and against the Phillies just about a month ago, early July. Both came here at Great American Ballpark. 1-1. But don't think that this place provides his power. He has more homers on the road, nearly even split, but more on the road than at home at the day's start. Swings through 1-2. Chase Burns still watching, keeping that arm warm and loose, as the sun is starting to break through the clouds a little bit.
There's no indication that he's coming out of the game. I don't even think they have anyone warming up.
Looking. At last check, just the yard work duties of Sam Moll. Looks like Burns will be back out there. J.J. Bleday stands in. He's been on 3 times, a base hit, 2 walks. He has scored a couple of runs. And the first pitch lifted, right side. Wow.
Chase Burns has been the all-star and has pitched like the all-star to get today. The elements certainly affected him in this game. However, the results still the same. Dominance with that fastball and that good late down-breaking slider.
That's just 74 pitches. Still in the early stage of third time through. Brandon Lau is line to center, has grounded out to second base. Upstairs miss. Just clips for a strike. blown by on that slider. Landed, strike 3.
Not anything you can do with it. 98-mile-an-hour heater, forcing fastball right on the outside of it. Maybe a little off, but close enough.
Brian Reynolds, RBI hit on a 2-strike pitch his last time. He's also flying to left. Pirates have Yohan Ramirez warming. Two and 0. Trying to put a bow on the 6th. Burns already today has become the first Reds pitcher to start the year. 21 straight starts of 5 or more innings in a dozen years. Johnny Cueto, Mike Leake each achieved it in 2014. And Chase Burns in his first full year of starting in the bigs. He was an A-ball last year at one point.
Pretty remarkable.
Struck him out. 4 straight strikeouts for Burns.
Went to the 98-mile-an-hour fastball for the punch out of Lau. And then the deep diving slider for the punch out with Reynolds. Just impressive. So impressive.
As Merlin Valdez asked for time, trying to clear his eyes, he has struck out and walked. Could Burns get the cherry on top of another strikeout? His career high is 10. Achieved 5 times, once this year. He's at 8. So patches of blue appear in the sky above. 1-0. Strike 1. Looks like the Reds have a lefty up in their bullpen. Strike 2. Burns broke into the bigs, mowing down Yankees with 5 strikeouts in succession. He just whipped 5 Pirates in a row.
Well, all of his skills are on display. Brandon Lau, take that 98 away. Brian Reynolds, take that slider down and in. And the punch out about.
Chase Burns continues. 1 run in 6 Sterling innings, 2 hits, 9 Ks. He's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one way to describe it.
Different reliever for the Pirates. It's Yohan Ramirez.
Way back when this series started on Thursday, Yohan Ramirez got the start, and he did pitch 2 scoreless innings. It was his first major league start.
His first 208 appearances had come into relief. He had been a hot hand for them. That's part of why he got that nod. Only one earned run in his last 23 1/3 innings, including that opening start. The Reds only put a man on base against him twice. Ellie walked at the game's start, and at the start of the second inning, the man on deck, Nathaniel Lowe, doubled against him. That was a night the Reds had their leadoff man on a ton. Had a hard time getting that man home and survived 3-2. And Lowe has been excellent so far today. Downstairs. Stevenson, ribby double, run scored. He is struck out, grounded out. The ground out was a comebacker that got Ron Marinaccio at 101. And now Stevenson's aboard for a second time. So much like Thursday, first man Ramirez faces reaches, and now it's Lowe. 2 doubles on a 3-hit day. The 3 hits tie a season high. 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored. His career high for hits is 5, done once. He has not had a 4-hit game this year. He just looks so comfortable at the plate right now.
Locked in, no doubt.
And as he's really picked it up in the last 3 weeks, the contact has gone to all fields.
Yeah, he's not he does definitely have pull power, but the approach is not a pull approach. He gets to the ball that's inside, bat heads out in front, he'll pull it down the right field line. But he's thinking up the middle the other way. You just tell it in his approach. That take right there, that ball's in, and his shoulder is right up the middle through that pitcher to the shortstop.
Four-pitch walk. Back-to-back walks drawn against Ramirez. Word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
This summer, sleep cooler for less at Big Sandy Superstore. Your headquarters for luxury mattresses. Big Sandy Superstore.
Now 2 on for Dane Myers, who's been on twice. Walk, ribby double, a run scored. He's 1 for 2. Taking all the way, strike 1. Brightest sunshine the game has seen. Rip through, strike 3. Well, the Reds have 9 hits in the game, and 7 of their 9 starters have posted a hit. The exceptions are Noelvi Marte, who has walked and scored, and the man on deck, Matt McLean, does have a sac fly. Both have had productive moments. But we also, last time for Marte, saw a lot of that chase creep in again with breaking balls out of the zone. Lays off that one. Strike 2. Brock Burke has been up in the Reds pen. He continues to warm. Looks like he is ready. Struck him out, breaking ball down and away. So now Matt McLean 0 for 2 with that sac fly. The oddity that stands out, at least surface with Matt McLean, when he was perhaps the Reds' best player in 2023, the pitch he handled best was fastballs. He had .316 against heaters that year, had 12 of his home runs against heaters, had 11 doubles, both highs. He missed all of 24, had the bad shoulder injury. 25, the production dropped, went to .255, still had 10 homers against it. This year, he's hitting .217 against fastballs. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, I did talk to Matt, and he did say to me, I can't miss the heater. He knows. Just hasn't been able to do it yet.
Breaks his bat there, and the pop on the infield. Pirates 1, we shift to the 7. Reds go to their bullpen for the first time today. The veteran Brock Burke.
We saw Brock in Thursday's ball game. He did walk a couple guys, did punch out 2 in his 1 inning of work. Man, how good was Chase Burns? My goodness.
Just exceptional.
We hear about a 2-pitch pitcher, but that fastball we saw, first of all, we saw it at 95 early and 98 later. But we saw it on different we saw it up in the zone, we saw it down and away, we saw it on the inside part of the plate. You have a dominant pitch. You don't have to have 3 or 4 different pitches. You can use that and it'll profile so much differently and play so much differently with the execution of the fastball. And that's what we're seeing from a young Chase Burns. It's amazing.
Where it kind of comes home to me a lot also is with the overlay. Pitching Ninja rather famously will put those up for many of the game's talented hurlers. And when you see the similarity initially and then the stark contrast quickly between the fastball and the slider, the fastball, especially how he can use it top of the zone, forces hitters. Look out. Right over top of Joe Lucko. That's why I said look out. I was trying to let you know. He was doing some research, didn't see it coming. No Joe Luckups were harmed in the filming of that foul ball.
The genius.
There it is.
All rights reserved. Genius Incorporated. But the hitter has to respect the fastball. They look so similar initially, and they are so bitingly different. That's a tall task for a hitter to face.
And that word that you use to describe bitingly different, and that's exactly it. As I said in spring training, I asked him, it wasn't necessarily the speed of the pitch, it was the profile of the pitch. I asked him, I said, are you throwing a curveball? He said, no, that was just a depthy slider.
That's in the air right field, Marte.
And that there's all kind of bite in that. And you're absolutely right. When you're a hitter and you're facing a guy like a Chase Burns, you look to see if there's anything that he does that will indicate the pitch that he's about to throw. Like some guys, when they go into their glove and they grip the ball, you can see some tension in their hand, right? They go in with a changeup grip or a fastball grip. If you see them kind of changing their glove, the position of their glove, then that indicates what they're going to throw. There's nothing. I haven't yet to see anything, and I really look for if there's something that I can see in a delivery or in the pre-pitch setup or something with the pitcher. With the Chase, I haven't seen anything, and obviously, well, the Pirates didn't see anything today, and I don't think the league has really picked up on anything. That will be something that, as he continues to develop as a pitcher, something that you will look at, because a dominant pitcher is not always going to have his great stuff. And we've seen Chase Burns not have his great stuff, but still be great. And I think we can drop that on him now, because he has been great this year. And I think that's an amazing thing. And just continue to grind. And he is that guy. He's going to continue to grind. He's not going to be happy with the success he's had so far in his career. I love the signing. I think he's going to be amazing.
Burke gets the strikeout of Nick Gonzalez.
Changeup down and away. Good pitch from Brock Burke.
Now the switch hitting Andy Rodriguez, who was grounded out twice. No relation to the Reds' Hector Rodriguez, who was tearing up AAA and hit a brief dry spell. How about today? 4 hits, double homer, drove in 3. He's hitting .274. He launched his 27th home run. Oh, 2 on Andy Rodriguez. Defense and uncertainty. That was certainly something talked about in spring. We hear advances have been made there. He can and has played all 3 outfield spots.
I heard that he was best at center field. He was a second baseman, and they put him on the corners in the outfield. I hear when he gets a chance to play center field, he gets his best reads in center field, which would make sense if you're used to playing up the middle in the infield. The one thing the dude can do is he can swing that bat.
Pizza for everybody. Homer launched back in the 2nd inning. Yohan Ramirez came into the game to begin last inning. He walked Tyler Stevenson, welcoming him to the game. Strike 1. Reds have TJ Antone up in their pen. Wanted 1. Front door strike. A lot of breaking balls from Ramirez. No go. Shot to center. Right at Garcia. One out. It's now Ellie. Been on twice. 2-run hit, a walk. He's 1 for 3. Ground out and soft line out. Backdoor called strike. Way out in front. Struck him out. Reds are off tomorrow as Sal Stewart stands in. He is homered. He's 1 for 4. The A's, who are also off tomorrow, will be in town as set starts Tuesday. Trade deadline is 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, so whatever is done will be done by then. A's are trailing the Tigers early today 2-0. They've lost 4 in a row, 7 of 8. They've lost 11 of 15 since the All-Star break, and they are getting ravaged by home runs. Stewart flicks to right. Valdez. The A's have allowed a baseball high 175 homers. They're on pace to obliterate their franchise record. New man on the mound for Cincinnati. It's TJ Antone.
Tone also pitched in Thursday's ball game against Pittsburgh. Went 1 inning, did strike out a hitter, gave up a hit, 22 pitches that he threw.
Missed down to Jacob Gonzalez, who has singled, flied to center. Reds pitching has set down 8 straight Pirates. Pittsburgh has posted 2 base hits. This is lashed to left. Bleday. That's a third. Kicks off the wall. Gathered well by Bleday. Double by Gonzalez.
Forcing fastball. Pretty much middle.
Front door strike to Garcia, who has struck out twice. It went off Tyler Stevenson. It looks like he got something in his eye. Garcia is nicknamed the Password due to his unusual first name. His brother also has a different name. Johanfran. Johanfran. All one word, one name. He's in the minors in the Red Sox organization. So Joe Stinson, the nickname of the Password. His brother, The Red Sox farm system has nicknamed him the Username. Both seem to embrace it. Grounded sharply to short, handled by De La Cruz. One down. So now Mangum, who has walked, been hit by pitch, scored a run. He is 0 for 1 to strikeout. Stevenson did nab him trying to steal in the first inning. To left field. That twist foul. Mangum out of Jackson Prep in Mississippi. A school that's produced multiple big leaguers, including one of his current teammates. They were not teammates in high school, but they are in the big leagues. The injured star shortstop for the Pirates, Connor Griffin, suffered an injury to the ring finger on his left hand in early July on a diving play. He's expected back in early September. And Antone strikes out Mangum.
Nice sweeper, front door sweeper. Underneath the swing. Effective pitch.
So now the first plate appearance today for Jared Triolo. He came on defensively for Lau last half inning. Lau ended 0 for 3. Called low. Triolo came off the bench the first 2 games of the series. He started yesterday, was 0 for 2, a couple of walks. Down and away. Three and one. Check swing, clearly went. In on his hands. Center field down for a hit. Gonzalez around third. He scores. 9-2. Switch hitting Brian Reynolds' ribby hit. He's 1 for 3. Sharp cutter. Softly tapped foul. Gets by Stevenson. Easy path to second for Triolo. Wild pitch on Anto. Reynolds works a walk. Successive 2-out runners. Now Anton ready for his 25th pitch as Merlin Valdez has walked once, struck out twice. Lays off the sweeper. Front door strike. Struck him out. Bottom 8, Reds up 9-2. Recently acquired Reliever, former Giants all-star closer Camilo Doval makes his Pirates debut.
You see his numbers on the season. He is a power guy. It's a sinker and a cutter that sits about 99 miles an hour. He'll throw a slider and an occasional changeup. The changeup is about 95 miles an hour.
Doval's struggled terribly against southpaws with the Yankees. That's a bad marriage with the short porch at Yankee Stadium. I have to imagine that's part of why the Yankees parted with him. He also was inconsistent throwing strikes. His stuff is great. When he's on, he's terrific. When he's off, it can get ugly. J.J. Bleday, lefty, first pitch. Rock to right field. Esmeralda Valdez secures the out. And one of the few times Bleday's been retired. A couple of walks and a hit today for Bleday. This was something first pointed out on X by Matt Wilkes and verified by Joe Lucca. Bleday's walk rate this year, 14.3%. Only 2 Reds have been higher in a qualified season going back to 09. Joey Votto, no surprise, 8 times. He was a walk machine. It's part of what will pave his path to Cooperstown. And Shin-Soo Choo in his electric 2013 season. Tyler Stevenson stands in. And the Reds have walked a lot this series as a team. They have now worked 25 walks this set against the Pirates. That's their second most in a series in the last 3 decades. And they had 27 walks in that ugly series in Baltimore last year, up and in. That was when Noel V. Marte went off. I think he had 5 hits in that game. They scored 24 runs, 24-2. Austin Wynns, I think, also had a terrific game. Later wound up for a little bit being a big part of the Athletics. That's the team the Reds will see next. Stevenson, a ribby double, a walk. He has scored a run. The wild pitch last inning has officially been changed to a pass ball. No one knows what's in the offing for anyone with the trade deadline looming, but if this is it for Tyler Stevenson, he has been such a treasure. He is a great dude. He's a really good player. He has turned around a season in such dramatic fashion. He is the Lord of the ABS in the first year of that being integrated into the big leagues. I've really enjoyed that guy. That's driven to right field. Valdez. Gone! If it's one last ride, it was a great one. A solo shot the other way to make it 10-2 Reds.
Well, Doval, I mentioned the power of the cutter. It was a 98-mile-an-hour cutter up in the eyes of Tyler Stevenson, and the way that he has approached hitting always is hit the fastball the other way and pull the breaking ball. That fastball up and in his eyes, and he just rides it out to right field. Good for you, Steve-O.
Now Nathaniel Lowe has been on 4 times today. Single, 2 doubles, a walk. He's knocked in 2. He has scored twice. He has had a resurgent 3 weeks. Time called. 0-1. Duvall has had true splits his whole career. Lefties have hit him better. That's not that abnormal, and the difference wasn't that dramatic. This year it's gone other level. Lefties this year are 360, OPS of nearly 1,000 against him. Fouled back by Lowe. Blade tried to ambush a first pitch and sent the ball to fairly deep right. Lowe now a couple of strikes against him. And yes, he's allowed a lot of hits and a decent amount of pop against lefties. He also walks lefties at a high rate this year. And you wonder, was Yankee Stadium part of that? Swing and a miss. He strikes out Lowe. Well, the Reds 10 runs on 10 hits. Dane Myers standing in. Zach McCambley is up in the Reds pen. Timer violation. Willie Harris was pointing to his wrist, pointing it out, coaching down at third. Fouled back, look out next door, just above the visiting TV booth. In the air, center field. Garcia's got it.
Well, Tyler Stevenson, he's been the subject of much trade talk. Will he be here or not? If that was his last at bat here as a Red, it was a good one. And if not, keep it rolling.
Zach McCambley is in. Strike one at Spencer Horwitz, who has struck out twice. He's flying to right. Oh, and 2. By the way, the Tyler Stevenson homer gives him 72 on his career. So he has tied Joe Oliver 6th most by a primary catcher in Reds history. And if that is it for Stevenson, how poetic would it be? 27th of July in his rookie year, he came in as a defensive replacement, 7th inning against the Cubs. Bottom of the inning, facing Dwayne Underwood Jr. in his first major league plate appearance. He went deep. Became the 3rd Reds batter to hit a homer in his first big league plate appearance. If that's his last as a Red, what a bookend.
Well, Steve-O's been around for a while. We've had plenty of time to talk about what it means to be a first-round draft pick for this organization, to represent this organization. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and I'm telling you, if he's here after this trade deadline, I think that's a good thing for this organization.
And even if he were to get traded, he is a free agent, which means anyone, including the Reds, could try to sign him for next year.
Offensive catcher is a premium. He is swinging the bat well in the middle of this lineup. Tough decisions to be made, John.
0-1 on Nick Gonzalez, who has lined out, bounced into a force fielder's choice, struck out. You just hope that whatever choices are presented, that it's whatever helps the team the best. You know, there are needs for these Reds. They entered the day 6 under 500 in last place. They have needs. Strike two. Depth or lack thereof has been a big part of how this season has arrived at this point. And the two ways to increase that: try to sign guys, trade for guys. Grounded right back to McCambley. Look what I found.
Right back up the box. After you let that ball go, you are an infielder. Looks like it got him up the wrist a little bit.
Now Endy Rodriguez 0 for 3, 2 ground outs, a strikeout. Right at him, 0-1. Left field, shading his eyes, Bleday. The Reds pummel the Pirates. They have won 4 of their first 5 series out of the All-Star break. They take the finale on this late sunny Sunday, 10-2.
Well, the team talked about making it weird for this front office, whether you're going to buy or sell at tomorrow's trade deadline. And they've done what they needed to do. They won this series. They've been really good so far to the second half. Chase Burns set the tone for today. Once again, he was brilliant, challenged by the weather conditions, but he came through really nicely. And the offense has been really good. Sal Stewart started it off with the home run. 2 hits from J.J. Bleday. Tyler Stevenson with a couple of hits, a home run. 3 for Nate Lowe. And to see Key Brian Hayes hit a home run also at the bottom end of that lineup. It was a complete effort, a good series win, and we'll see what happens at the trade deadline.
10-2.